with the Gradient Investments weekly talking points for the week ending March 31st, 2023. Let's get into stocks. Equities rose across the major global indices last week, with the U.S. benchmark S&P 500 adding 3.5%. The Russell 2000 was up 3.94%, and the NASDAQ was up 3.37%. Now, overseas and developed markets, which is the EFA, rose over 4%, 4.02%, and the emerging markets index increased 1.95%. Now, within the U.S., the best performing sectors were energy and consumer discretionaries, while communication services and healthcare were the laggards. Now, by style, value outperformed growth, and mid caps outperformed large caps, and large and small caps. Let's talk about fixed income. Interest rates rose and values fell. With the benchmark 10-year Treasury, the yield was up 10 basis points to 3.48%. And the yield curve remains inverted, although the difference spread between the two has come down a little bit. So the 2-year and the 10-year used to be, it's only 58 basis points now, and it was over 1% at 107 basis points on March 8th. And of course, we saw that interest rates go up a quarter point, that the Fed raised the interest rates. So we saw that happen as well. So let's get into commodities. The price of oil is on the rise after Saudi Arabia and other OPEC plus nations unexpectedly announced oil production cuts totaling over 1.1 million barrels per day from May through the end of this year. As of yesterday, the price of West Texas crude was over $80 per barrel, up 6% from Friday's close, and this compares to last June's high of $122 per barrel. And we see that's happening. I mean, we shouldn't have to deal with OPEC and all this oil production. We've had our own, but we're not going to go into that. Let's talk about economic data. Inflation for February, as measured by core personal consumption expenditures, which excludes volatile food and energy, was 0.3% on a month-over-month basis, slightly lower than the consensus estimate and better than the January report of 0.6%. So that's a plus. Let's talk about home prices. They rose 2.5% year over year in January versus the expectations of a 3.7% gain. So you see a little cooling there. This marks a deceleration from the December gain of 4.6% on a month-over-month basis. And prices for the 20-city index were actually down 0.5%. Remember, we see it up and up and up, and now it's starting to come down. So we're starting to see the cooling in the housing market. Let's talk about company news. Lululemon Athletica, which is a G33 holding, shares were up 16.19% after the company reported quarterly sales and earnings that well exceeded consensus estimations, and including comparable store sales growth of 30%. Management also raised guidance for the current quarter and the full year as the maker of the athletic leisure apparel continued to outperform its peers. So Lululemon is everywhere. You see it today. How about Novartis AG, which is a G40I holding, reported that its breast cancer drug, Kisqali, significantly reduced the risk of disease reoccurrence when used with standard endocrine therapy compared to endocrine therapy alone, expanding the benefits of Kisqali to patients with earlier stages of breast cancer. Shares of this U.S. drug maker were up 10.06% for the week. And how about AB Volvo, which is a G40I holding, was up 8.44% last week after European auto registrations rose 11.5% year over year in February, and that is the 5th consecutive month of double-digit increases. That concludes this weekly update. Thank you so much for being part of the ARA family. If you need to get a hold of us, please call us at 855-756-5700. Visit us online at aradvisorsinc.com. Make sure you scan the code, get our for the newsletter, Facebook, YouTube, share it with friends. Anything you need, we look forward to talking to you soon. God bless you. We'll see you again next week.